Hi everyone, welcome to Divine Sacred Tarot. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking, subscribing. And what I found really interesting is there have been so many messages, signs, synchronicities all coming through that are showing the divine feminines that the divine masculines are beside them. So if you are here, the first channel message that I wanted to share with you is the divine feminines have really needed to take space. So in the past 24 hours, I had woken up and I had gone straight on social media, or, I just do my regular thing in the morning, do my meditation, and then went on social media. And I received a big kind of like sign to say my divine masculine was right near me. And there were multiple signs. But then what ended up happening is I made a decision that did something that didn't really feel good anymore. And what I mean by that is something that used to satisfy me didn't satisfy me anymore. And there was a big alignment mirroring that we're seeing between the divine masculines and feminines. And one of them are actually telling us as divine feminine energies that our divine masculines are doing things and they are realizing it's just not pleasing them as it used to. And it can come in many different forms. And one of them is social media, right? There's no thrill in it anymore. There's just an awareness that it's just such a repetitive cycle. And so yesterday I made an intention to not be on social media, and I mean any social media, apart from recording the channeled content that I did yesterday. I vowed to just sit with myself. And there was a reason that this came up, because the divine feminines who are going through these ascension moments are actively, purposefully going inwards to awaken. So a lot of times we have unintentional tower moments because we're not ascending as quickly as the universe would like, as quickly as we are supposed to. So what I do see here is this was the divine feminines taking the reins of the horses, taking the chariot reins, and actually accelerating their own ascension. So this is going to look different for everyone, but this is just one experience to say, I know for a lot of people, it is quite uncomfortable to just sit and be, to just sit in stillness. So I chose not to listen to any music. I chose not to meditate. I just chose to be in the moment and see what comes up and write down my thoughts as a consequence. And what I realized is when you're sitting in the silence, when you're inviting the fears and the insecurities to come up, what does that look like? Where does your mind go when it's bored? And so, as I said, this is going to be different for everyone, but if you can take a moment to just be in stillness, sit in stillness, be observant of where your mind goes. And that wasn't the message. The overall message here that Spirit is asking and encouraging me to share with you who are listening is, because the divine feminines have made that proactive choice to sit in stillness, to be in stillness, to be okay on their own, still with their thoughts, it's a big shift in awakening. It's a big confirmation for the divine feminines to let them know where do their thoughts wander to when they're tired and fatigued and exhausted and irritable. Where does the mind go? Because a lot of times what I noticed by the end of the day, because I had to coach in the afternoon, I still kept off social media, but what I noticed is a part of me wanted to check it, a part of me wanted to check it, and another part of me wanted to abstain. And then in the evening, after I came home, I was physically and mentally exhausted. Like I couldn't put my finger on it. So I meditated. So instead of doing anything, which is usually where I can just put something on the TV on and just kind of mong out, zone out. If you're American, you don't know what that means. But the thing is, I meditated. And as my food was cooking for the evening, I meditated. And what I thought was during those meditations, it still felt uncomfortable. But what was the uncomfortable feeling? And it turns out because you divine feminines are asking to go higher, because you divine feminines are inviting these spiritual awakenings to happen, you are now sitting in the uncomfortable feeling, whereas your divine masculine is also being encouraged to do the same thing. So they may be seeing you in dreams, getting visions, getting signs, synchronicities, because you're receiving them, divine feminines, in the present moment. And the only way you can receive them is when you're in the present moment. So because of that, your divine masculine is almost like opening themselves up to being uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to be vulnerable. It's uncomfortable to feel their emotions. It's uncomfortable to share those emotions. And some of you may have a block with your divine masculine who isn't yet fully open to those elements of letting their own guard down. And they can only do that themselves. So what's happening is the divine feminines are constantly seeking more. So instead of taking more information, you're going inwards. You're actually assessing what is going on in my heart and soul, what is coming up for me. And in doing so, you're inviting the divine masculines to come forward unintentionally, because for a long while, I've asked, what is the purpose of the twin flame connection? What is the purpose of the connection between me and my divine masculine? And all these questions started to be answered when I sat in stillness. So the divine masculines at this time are going through those key vulnerable moments. They are missing the divine feminines because they're seeing signs of the divine feminines everywhere. Now, if your name is unusual, you will be surprised how much your divine masculine may see your initials, may see a person who does the same job as you do, and it reminds them of you. Somebody who kind of looks like you but doesn't look like you because they think of you. Like all these things are now coming into the divine masculine's consciousness because you divine feminine are going inwards. The more and more you go inwards, the more and more you invite your divine masculine within to shine. It's sending you signs and synchronicities everywhere. And every time I was speaking to somebody recently, and every time the divine sends you signs of what you want in other people, through other people, if people are getting engaged and you're seeing that, that is a sign. That is driftwood, as Gabrielle Bernstein would say. If you're seeing people who are having babies, if you're seeing happy couples, if you're seeing couples holding hands, if you're seeing marriages and unions, they are all signs. Nothing is a coincidence. And so this is a very big message for the divine feminines and the divine masculines who are listening in, to say that there is this healing, this shedding that has happened post eclipse and full moon. And the portal is just wider and wider. And each time you delve into yourself, the portal expands, the gifts expands, the element of receiving, which has been so difficult for the divine feminines, have needed to expand that much more. And overall, the messages, I'm going to do a quick shuffle and just say, what are the overall messages for the twin flames? Well, there is this, I keep seeing it's almost here, like it's here. And there's like such a very thin veil for it to be revealed in. And this is for people who have not had communication from their divine masculines for a while, or are in sporadic communication, who have been on this journey for a couple of years now. This is more so the sign to really assess which wave that you have not been on, but which pathway you're choosing, right? Which stage you're choosing, which resonates the most. So if these messages are coming in for you, ask yourself, like, why is this for me? What was the purpose of this? And instead of just listening to a reading, I encourage you to really reflect on what that reading meant for you. And it's going to be different for everyone. And if you're listening to this in the future, have a consideration between not just listening to the messages, but what do these messages actually feel for you? So what are the overall energies for the twin flames at this time, please, Spirit? So thank you, angels, guardians, ancestors, and spirit team. What are the current messages that we do need to know at this time? The Six of Cups, the Sun, and the Six of Pentacles. Wow. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Page of Pentacles. And what they don't know is the Three of Swords. Now, generally speaking, I said this earlier, there is going to be unions. So what are you doing in this time, divine feminines, to prepare for union? Have you made space in your closet? Have you made space in your closet? I don't know where that came from. Spirit is very playful today, and I absolutely love it. Have you made space in your closet? Have you made space in your life? This is what your divine masculine's trying to do. They are working, they are preparing for this reunion because they are no longer ignoring their feelings and emotions. You divine feminines are no longer ignoring your feelings and emotions. You do want this with your person. And even if you had said, I'm fine on my own, I'm happy where I am abundant and loved and a pure divine light, you know that being with your divine masculine allows you to evolve, allows you to come forward into this beautiful sun. You're being grown, you're being expanded, and no matter how many times I've shuffled, you've got the Two of Cups and the Sun. So I'm going to take those two cards out anyway, because I feel like they're very, very important. And I will put this on my social media. But what I'm seeing here is the Six of Cups is saying the invitation that you've extended for the divine masculines on the spiritual plane is giving them the sense of security and stability that they've needed in the physical. And what I mean by that is you have been the sun in their dark days. They have been noticing the feelings that arise when you are posting on social media or when they are wanting communication with you but haven't been direct regarding that. And what I mean by that is they are noticing and no longer hiding from the emotions that they feel in regards to you and your connection together. There is this playful energy. There is this sharing of adventures, of abundance, of joy. And for some reason, I'm getting that it's just going to be really easy. Like it hasn't been easy on this path, but it is going to be really easy for the both of you. We do have what we don't know is the Three of Swords. For those divine feminines and masculines who are struggling on the journey, that struggle is purposeful. Like the separation is purposeful. So when we've got the Page of Pentacles is what you are knowing is you're offering yourself those moments to sit in stillness, to meditate, to reach out to friends, to share your story. You are being called to put something into this material world that is only going to help yourself, your connection, and other people around you. And it could just mean, going to the coffee place and paying for somebody's coffee. It could mean giving a homeless person some money. However you can be of service in this current state, whether it's big or small, the gesture of not expecting anything and giving freely. And I'm not saying give because don't give to actually expect a union, if that makes sense. So you're giving without expectation of anything in return. You're almost giving anonymously. Now, when people say, "Oh, I do things for charity, I do this and I do that," that's fine to give other people examples that, you need to be giving too. But I know if I am being charitable, I don't announce it on social media. I don't even tell my friends. I'm only speaking up about this right now because Spirit is encouraging us to do the same thing as divine feminines and masculines. When we are of service and don't expect anything, the universe will give it to you. And that is why there is the Six of Coins here to say there is equal and opposite reciprocity between the both of you. And the way you are doing that is you're not just focusing on each other to give and take, you're focusing on the community around you. So if you're focusing on your union, on the sunshine that you're bringing, you're also focusing on the community. So what I'm seeing here is union, happiness, and community are the triads, are the three. And yesterday, if you haven't checked out that reading, please, please do go check that reading out. And it was under the name of Twin Flame Unions, purging thoughts, behaviors. Are we supposed to be in union? So do check that out. I will give a link at the end of this channeled message, and I will link it to the last video that is on the page. But what I'm seeing is this whole 333 that's coming up, this whole merging of the mind, body, soul, the source, divine masculine and divine feminine energies, it's actually bringing in clarity regarding this love. So the Sun card came out first. So the Sun is between the Six of Cups and the Sun. So it's that double confirmation of everything in your vicinity is expanding. You're bringing light and darkness into every area of your life, divine feminines. And you're no longer afraid to sit in the silence, to sit in the dark, to humble yourself in those areas, to go, okay, inner child, what do you need? How can I help you? Okay, inner divine masculine, what do you need from me? And because you're constantly being of service, a lot of times divine feminines get sick of this being of service because they're like, but I've always been in service. I've always been giving. I'm very empathetic. I'm very kind. And that's fine. But because you're in that energy of I always give, that second energy, which you may not be admitting and probably sometimes may admit, is, but what's in it for me? And because of that, you're blocking your blessings. And this is why the Six of Pentacles is here over, pardon me, we've got the Sun and the Six of Pentacles, and over that we've got the Two of Cups. So this just goes to say and reiterate that nothing is going to pass by you because it's meant for you. And this union is meant for you. It's meant to evolve you. Even in separation, you're supposed to evolve. You're supposed to ascend. And this is why we don't focus on union generally, because it's focusing on ourselves, but focusing on the community, focusing on how we can energetically align our best selves and what are we giving without expectation. And so when you're in that element of receiving, which is quite difficult for the divine feminines, you're able to receive in different ways. So say, for example, if you give a homeless person some money, and then the next day somebody calls you and says, hey, I've got these 2 free tickets to blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Yes, I'd love to go. This is pretty much the reunion energy that you're in. It sounds really obscure, and I don't know why Spirit is asking me to channel this. I split the deck. We've got the Six of Cups, which is really important because here we're seeing that that is the journey to union, if that makes sense. So by you doing something of service, you're going to receive something in a totally different way. It could mean that you find £5 on the street, for example. I don't know. And the universe will give it back to you in different ways. So don't expect it from your divine masculine towards your twin flame union. Allow it to come in whichever way it's supposed to. And this is why it's indirectly bringing you towards union, towards this abundance in this lifetime. So let's have a look at the current energies. How are the current energies between the divine masculine and feminines at this time? What are the current energies between the divine masculines at this time? Can we enhance any of the messages? Oops. Oh, the Hermit. Yes, perfect. The Hermit, what we don't know is the Tower, and the High Priestess is at the bottom of the deck. So funny because now we've got this Hermit energy has really truly amplified in the divine masculines and divine feminines lately. So the divine masculines may be in the physical world being busy, but in the quiet space of their bedroom, of their stillness, of their thoughts, when they don't have social media, they really are being asked to figure out what their heart wants. Whilst the divine feminines are very clear about what their heart wants, or they're gaining clarity, should I say, because not everybody is there already, they are focusing on their spiritual ascension. What gifts can they give as a being on this earth, and how can they be their best selves in the current moment? Because when we talk about purpose, it doesn't have to be this big all shouting from the hilltops, this is my purpose. It could just mean that you were meant to pass on this video to somebody you care about. It could just mean sending somebody a loving text. It could be giving somebody a hug, telling somebody thank you. All of those are purposeful interactions because you're not just helping yourself at that point, you're being of service to this other person and the connection that you're in the vicinity of. And that brings you higher to this higher priestess. So before, when we were talking about the queen energy, you're trying to get into your empress energy. And now we're looking at the next step, because usually the empress is, okay, you're the empress, you're in union with your emperor, but there is a convergence between the empress and the high priestess, because the empress is a nurturing, vibrant, fertile, receptive, divine feminine in the physical plane, but that still applies to this all-being, all-knowing, wise divine feminine in the astral and all dimensional fields. So they hold the power and the wisdom to change and create reality. And by having these tower moments being invited by you, divine feminines, you're both going into this hermit energy and finding energetic alignment between you, yourself, and your twin flame. What is the mindset between the divine masculines holding back? What is the mindset around the divine masculines who are holding back on union? The Six of Pentacles. Wow, isn't that funny? Because I was putting the cards in between the Sun and the Six of Pentacles, which was obviously the overall energy. We've got the King of Cups at the bottom of the deck, which is really interesting. And the Justice card. Now, this is very familiar to yesterday's reading. So, like I said, please go check that one out. The Six of Pentacles for the divine masculine's mindset is about giving and receiving. It's about how have they been there to give and receive? How have they been there to give and receive to themselves? How have they neglected their own emotionality? And behind the King of Cups is the Emperor. It's really funny because the divine masculines couldn't be the emperor in the physical without acknowledging their sensitivity, their emotions, their feelings. Whatever they have been masking and holding on to, And we're going to go into an emotional check-in, but whatever they've been holding on to has actually prevented them from receiving, and vice versa. This has happened for you to divine feminines. And again, I'm seeing an apple, I'm seeing a green string. So this could be resonant for anybody who is seeing those signs. Two doves, twins. Like, honestly, there's so much duplication here. We've got two suns, two Six of Cups, two Six of Pentacles. There's so much duplication, because what I'm seeing is, as soon as the divine feminines have opened up their ability to sit in the dark, to sit in the shadows, to sit in themselves, it's ricocheted and replicated to the divine masculines to sit and be vulnerable with themselves, to sit in their emperor energy. And this is divine justice. This is the fates taking a hold of, you've done the past. You've dealt with who you both were in the past. You've forgiven and you've commiserated with your old versions of yourselves, with the old version of the divine masculine. But it's almost like it's saying the forgiveness hasn't been forgotten, but the forgiveness has actually opened up doors to this new potential. What is happening in the mindset for the divine feminines regarding union? What is the mindset, the thoughts and beliefs that the divine feminines are having regarding union? In my headspace, it says Four of Wands. So there is a lot of you who are seeking marriage, union, commitment. It's like, I'm ready. I'm ready already. Yes, please, universe. Thank you, universe. So let's see what the general collective is. Remember, if you are looking for a personal reading, hit me up at divinesacredtarot@gmail.com. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the divine feminines. We've got the Eight of Wands. They are so ready for this communication. I love that. What they don't know, which I think a lot of you who are listening in do know, Four of Swords is at the back of the deck. So this is sitting and waiting and, being on your throne, but not waiting per se. It's doing things that make you happy. As you're doing things that make you happy, your thoughts and beliefs are that my divine masculine will communicate with me. My divine masculine is communicating with me. So, what about the emotional check-in? How's the divine masculine feeling emotionally during this separation phase? Oh, the Empress! Hell yes! And the Queen of Pentacles. Oh my goodness. Yes, divine masculine. Emotionally, they are stuck on you. Emotionally, they are thinking about you. Emotionally, they are getting signs in their dreams about you. They have got, again, we've seen two doves. They're seeing duplicates. They're probably even reading about twin flames. We've got the same string that we've got in the Six of Pentacles here. There's so many signs and synchronicities. Divine feminines, if any of you are wearing red or have taken a picture of you wearing red, it's going to be very symbolic and important for you to give that sign to the divine masculine. I don't know where that came from. So there is a very significant message around wearing red, taking a selfie, and that's going to be a confirmation for your divine masculine. It could also be that you may have worn red on your first date and your divine masculine commented on it. It could be that the divine masculine is looking at you and an image of you wearing red, and it really does stand out. What a beautiful message. Okay, let's have a look at the emotional feelings regarding the divine feminines. How are you emotionally, divine feminines? Where are you emotionally regarding the separation between the twin flames? One card, lovely, Ace of Pentacles. Emotionally, at the bottom of the deck, Eight of Swords, your thoughts aren't concrete. They are malleable. They are interchangeable. They can shift. And instead of reacting to those emotions, you're feeling them, you're being in them, you're swimming in them. And then you're allowing the water to drain. You are knowing that this is an emotional, fluid time for you, and you're accepting the abundance of where you are. This is the first time in a long time that the divine feminines, again, won't resonate with everyone. You're okay with being in separation, like you're good. And that's not saying that you're not wanting union. It's so secure that your union is coming. That soul belief. If you believe, you're halfway there. Actually, let's correct that. If you believe, you're 80% there. Belief is all you need. And because of this Eight of Swords here is a reminder to say your thoughts, your ego will want you to stay put, will want you to sabotage and run away, just as the divine masculine had needed that. But the fact is, you're emotionally checking in with yourself and you're emotionally knowing that the belief of the both of you isn't frivolous expectation. It's the inner knowing that you're trusting everything as well, that all is well. And this Ace of Pentacles is here to remind you that you are abundant exactly where you are, and more gifts will be delivered to you. It's all about opening up your arms and receiving them in a way that you never expected. What is the connection on a heart level despite distance and physical separation for the divine masculines? What is the heart level for the divine masculines? Justice. Justice is the heart level where they are acknowledging this had it. Oh, okay. Big message. It was the right person at the wrong time. Their divine counterpart, you divine feminines, have stood out against everything and everyone. And even if they try and distract themselves with other people, they'll come back to, yeah, but this divine feminine. Yeah, but this divine feminine, and that divine feminine is you. So that's why they're getting a lot of signs and synchronicities, because this physical separation and distance has actually helped them come to terms with what their heart is connected to. And divine justice is here to say no matter what other options is around, they are acknowledging that you were the right person, but at the wrong time. So what is the heart connection for the divine feminines regarding this physical distance or separation? What is the heart level coming up? Ooh. Okay, so that fell on the floor, and I'm so frigging comfy on my stool. It's a long way down. Nope, I can't get it. Now that's symbolism for you. I had a little bit of difficulty to get that card, but this is regarding the heart connection for the divine feminines. So the heart connection for the divine feminines is the Nine of Pentacles. So some of you who aren't being honest with yourself about what you want, like unless you know what you want, it's not going to come in for you. That's the most blatant message that I've gotten from spirit lately. Yeah, if you're wanting your knight, if you're wanting your emperor, if you're wanting your marriage and family, be honest with yourself. Stop guarding your heart against yourself. What is this period of separation regarding the spiritual growth and evolution for the divine masculines? Seven of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. This is something that they've really kept close to their chest. It's like some of you might have coming to communication, might be talking, but it's not being announced. It's not moving forward in the way that you had wanted to, divine feminines. Because the divine masculines have been holding back. They're trying to sort out the contracts, the terms and conditions of their life. And in order for them to do that, they've been very protective of this connection. What about the spiritual growth? Okay, so the divine masculines do really need this connection to enhance their spiritual growth, and that's why they're keeping it guarded. For the divine feminines, the spiritual growth is 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is here. Look, you've got the Ace of Pentacles, divine feminines. You've got the 10 of Pentacles. There is unlimited abundance here for you. Your spiritual growth is leading you to unlimited abundance. What a beautiful message to receive. So, yeah, you're not just growing spiritually, physically, you're changing the world, you're changing the way you create, the way you manifest, the way you are in this world, the way you give to others. You might have already noticed how different you are as a person during this journey, and that's a beautiful spiritual growth that you've needed during this separation. What are the obstacles and challenges that are hindering the divine masculines at this time? What are the obstacles and challenges, the biggest obstacles and challenges that are hindering the masculines during separation? Four of Pentacles, holding on to something that they need to let go of. Why is the Four of Pentacles here, please, Spirit? High Priestess, yeah. They haven't really let go of the idea of the both of you. Pardon me, they haven't let go of the idea that the both of you can come into union in this lifetime. Why haven't they let go of this idea? This doesn't make sense. They haven't let go of you being together in this lifetime. I don't get that. What is going on? Where is the Four of Pentacles and the High Priestess here? The King of Cups. Yeah, okay. So the biggest obstacle and challenge is that emotional growth that we were talking about. Some divine masculines are still holding on to the disconnect between their vulnerabilities, their heart energy, their heart chakra, even though it is opening up, even though they are trying to be more emotionally vulnerable. I think that's the biggest lesson that the divine masculines need to know right now. They are coming through as a King of Cups, but this is like on the precipice. It's still like they're still acting as a page, then they get into the Knight energy, then they're in this King of Cups where they can be all brave and declare their vulnerable emotional selves, and then all of a sudden is that back and forth energy. That's the biggest block for them at this time. It's like being steady in their emotions, like being emotionally stable. What is the obstacles and channels for the divine feminine? Ace of Cups. But it came out in the inverse. So truly knowing that you're worthy of unconditional love. A lot of you had had a block to understand that you're worthy of unconditional love from yourself, by yourself, to yourself. And now you are coming to terms with being in this level of unconditional love from another person. So you have guarded yourself because you thought, you know, it might have been abandonment wounds, it might have been neglect, it might have been trauma. All these things have revised your true calling to receive unconditional love, which means that the divine feminines have blocked them receiving unconditional love because they didn't think that they were worthy of it. And I'm talking about the ego coming in, you know, oh, making excuses, making wounds those a little bit louder, like the ego chipping in unnecessarily. Those are the things that are your current obstacles and challenges. So, you know, if you're not in a level of receiving unconditional love from yourself, that's where you need to be. And then when you do receive this level of unconditional love for yourself, which is still a huge journey in itself, you are then having to come to terms with you are worthy of unconditional love from another person. What is a personal healing journey, healing and transformation for the divine masculines at this time? And what is the healing and transformational journey for the divine feminines at this time? Okay, wow. Healing and transformational journey for the divine masculines. We've got the Page of Cups. For the divine feminines, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. Now, this is very poignant because this came up in a previous reading as well, that the divine masculines are still playing in that page energy. As I said earlier, with their obstacles and challenges or their spiritual growth, they need to come into that emotional stability. So they're finding it difficult to move from that page to the knight to the king, but it is happening intermittently. With the Page of Cups here saying that they are writing letters of love. They are looking at decisions on ways they can open themselves up in an emotional way. They do have this deep within their heart space, but their personal healing has really come from a naive, low energy. So they've had to work even harder to raise their vibration up. They've tried things and they failed. They've tried things and they failed. They've tried things and they failed. This is what I'm getting for a lot of divine masculines. And that's basically what happens on the spiritual journey for the divine masculines is they want to heal and they want to try, and then all of a sudden they keep falling on their face because it's not going to come easy. The divine is actually encouraging the divine masculines to stay in this hermit energy, to not be distracted, to not be driven by ego. So that personal healing journey is very trying for the divine masculines. Whereas the divine feminines, look at what we've got. We've got you're almost in this phase. No, you are in this phase. And some of you it's almost, some of you are in this phase that you are reveling in the healing. You are transformed, you are healing, you are in preparation for your divine masculines. You've waited out the storms, you've waited out the winter, and now you are going, all right, it's time to do my makeup, get my hair done, do my nails, and get ready for this spring season of coming out of my shell and feeling this rebirth, renewal energy. Okay, so what is the divine timing for twin flames on this journey who we are channeling for, who is here right now? The Ace of Swords, wow. This is a new beginning. This is this element of union, truth, commitment. Why is the Ace of Swords here, please, Spirit? Thank you. Five of Pentacles in the inverse. Yes, thank you, thank you. Your divine timing had to happen at a perfect time when you had gone through that healing, when you had let go of being left out, grieving your old self, grieving the versions of you that weren't worthy, that weren't stable enough, that weren't healed enough. And now this Ace of Swords has come up to present to you this new opportunity, these new blessings, these new truths that you couldn't really accept before. Like the reason you've always seen signs, symbols, and messages in your reality. You just weren't aware of them because you weren't awakened to that state. You weren't conscious of those things. So those things always existed. You just weren't aware of them. And so divine timing is just saying, look, yeah, you were aware of your twin flame. You just weren't ready at that point. You weren't healed enough at that point to receive this blessing. And if you did receive it before, you would have messed it up. So this is divine timing saying, look, this is perfect for you at this time. You are supposed to receive this unconditional love, Ace of Cups. You are supposed to sow those seeds to your wish fulfillment. And when you do receive it, you're going to appreciate it. And this is so much more for the divine masculines as well, is it didn't work out before because they weren't able to appreciate the connection. It didn't work out in divine timing before because this is the divine timing. What is the communication and connection maintaining? Six of Swords. Communication is coming in. The connection is moving out of separation into union, into these Ten of Pentacles, into this unconditional love. Why is the Six of Swords here, please, Spirit? So it's maintaining the communication and nurturing the energies within yourself. holding on to the things that you feel is your new reality and sticking with them, going with them, delving deeper into those energies, being honest with yourself about what your thoughts, feelings, and emotions are cropping up. As I said, that message yesterday was so, so important to say that you're manifesting these things in the physical divine feminines, and it's having a ricochet effect on your divine masculines' growth and the way that they nurture themselves. The way that you are bringing in this goal of union is actually coming into the work that you've put in into this connection, and you receiving the love that you deserve. You've gone through the wars, you've done the battles, you've weighed up your options, and now you've committed to this journey. You know how sometimes it's saying that we're not going to give you this gift unless you're all in. Like, you need to be all in. You can't be half off the plane and half on the plane. You need to be on the plane. You need to be on the journey. You need to be fully committed. So how does the journey towards union with the twin flame aligning with personal and spiritual purpose or path for both the divine masculines and feminines? Okay, this is incredible. Eight of Swords and the High Priestess. So what I'm seeing is the divine feminines are really truly aligning with their spiritual path, with their higher selves. They've come through their thoughts, their feelings, their emotions. They're no longer neglecting versions of themselves. They are coming into this element of naivety, but in the best way. So it's almost like, you know how sometimes they say, you've lost the childlike innocence in you because of all of the experiences and the hurt and the trauma and the experiences of life have kind of broken you. But going back to your inner child version, divine feminines, it's not to say you ignore those experiences. It's just to say you don't need to be so guarded. Um, you don't need to be blocking. You can still tap into your inner child. You can still tap into the highest version of yourself, and you can still tap into this childlike innocence. And by doing that, you're coming around full circle in this lesson of purpose. So your personal and spiritual path, divine feminines, was always to come back home to yourself. And that is something that the divine masculines have been asked to do too. The King of Wands, they've lost that childlike innocence about them because life has broken them. And the divine masculines are being humbled to go, listen, I've known that to be in this space, I can nurture my inner child. I can nurture the love within myself. I can come back home to myself. And that's why when you're together, it feels so familiar. That's why when you're together, it feels like home. Because the divine masculine didn't know that that lived within them. They didn't realize that that was something that was available to them. And a lot of them felt guarded and trapped, thinking, oh, well, this isn't for me. That's not where I'm supposed to be. But it was here the whole time. I'm going to leave the messages right there. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sending you so much love. And make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you're not already. Sending you so much love. Bye for now.